Democracy is for me and for 12 million Black Americans, a goal towards which our nation is marching. It is a dream and idea in which ultimate realization we have deep and abiding faith. For me, it is based on Christianity, in which we confidently entrust our destiny as people. Under God's guidance in the great democracy, we are rising out of the darkness of slavery into the light of freedom. Here, my race has been afforded the opportunity to advance from a people to 80% illiterate to people 80% literate, from abject poverty to the ownership and operation of million farms and 7,500,000 homes, from total disfranchisement to participation in the government, from the status of chattels to recognition, contributors to the American culture. As we have been extended a measure of democracy, we have brought to the nation rich gifts. We have helped to build America with our labor, strengthened in with our faith, and enriched with our song. We have given Paul Laurence Dunbar, Booker T. Washington, Mariah Anderson, and George Washington Carver. But even these are only the first fruits of a rich harvest, which will help reaped when new and wider fields are open to us. The democratic doors of equal opportunity have not been opened wide to Negroes. In the Deep South, Negroes' youth is offered only 1/15 of the education opportunity of the average American child. The greatest mass of Negro workers are depressed and unprotected in the lowest levels of agriculture and domestic services, while the Black workers in industries are barred from certain unions and generally assigned to move to more laborious and poorly paid work. Their housing and living conditions are sordid and unhealthy. They live too often in terror of the lynch mob, are deprived too often of the constitutional right of suffrage, and are humiliated too often by denial of civil liberties. We do not believe that justice and common decency will allow these conditions to continue. Our faith envisions a fundamental change as mutual respect and understanding between our races come in the path of spiritual awakening. Certainly, there have been times when we may have delayed the mutual understanding by being slow to assume a fuller share of our nation's responsibility because of the denial of equality, and yet we have always been loyal when the ideals of American democracy have been attacked. We have given our blood in the defense from Christmas attacks on Boston's Commons to the battlefields of France. We have fought for the democratic principles of equality under the law, equality of opportunity, equality of the ballot box, for the guarantees of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We have brought to preserve one nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equally. Yes, we have fought for America with her imperfections, not so much for what she is, but what we know she can be. Perhaps the greatest battle before us, the fight for a new America, fearless, free, united, morally rearmed, in which 12 million Negroes, shoulder to shoulder with their fellow Americans, will strive that this nation under God will have a new birth of freedom, and the government of the people, for the people, by the people, shall not perish from this earth. This dream, this idea, this aspiration, this is what democracy means to me.